What is going on, guys? All right, so let's go over today's price action. Today is July 9th. Let's go over the price action for my style of trading today. So we had two available trades today. We had the 7 a.m. one and the 10:30 a.m. one. So let's go over the 7 a.m. one first. So start new here. So let's talk about what was good about this trade and why we took it. So first, let's take a look at where price is at. I took this on the 15 minute. Um, Hold on, let's go one more 15-minute candle over. Great. All right, so what's good about this trade? You can kind of see that we are clearly trending up, right? We are creating higher highs and higher lows. So in my mind, I'm looking for buys, right? Higher highs, higher lows. We've been doing this since last night, since previous day, since London. We had a little bull flag here, broke through that, and now we come into this zone. We have this bigger zone here, which was once support, turn resistance, and it seems like we want to continue to turn it into support again. So we have this area where we can start looking for our trade. So most of our context has lined up. High time frame alignment, bullish, cool. We're in an area where support, where resistance can be turned into support. Awesome, cool. So the last piece that we're looking for is, can we get an entry model for this? Luckily, we do have an entry model for this. So we come back down here, we take out all these candle lows, right? Look at this. We take all of this out, we take out this candle low. So we've created what I like to call a protected low here. This is a low that if we are bullish, we should have no reason to be coming down here anymore. We've already taken out all of the stops on this area. Cool. So the only thing that I was a little hesitant on was the close of this candle. In order for me to make this from an A trade to an A plus trade, well, I'll make this like an A minus trade. Two things. One, if the current candle would have taken out this previous wick, I would have made this an A. Now we would have increased the grade of this trade. And if the close on this was a little higher, it would have made it an A plus. But those two things did not deter me from the trade, because if you go up a higher, with just one more time frame, you'll notice that we kind of are going into VWAP. We're kind of holding this 30-minute low. So a lot of the other items on this trade is what's holding me to take this trade. The other part is, on the 30-minute, there was a previous support here. So here, assuming we're still bullish, we would have a failed breakout, which increases the probability of this trade playing out. So the first thing we do here is we wait for the first minute to kind of go and manipulate, and the rest is history. We put our stops at the low here, wherever support was created, and we should be good to go to take this to the highs. Cool. It already hits your 1-to-1. You can kind of go break even here, and it becomes a risk-free trade from there. Awesome. So again, this is an A minus trade. Cool. So let's look at the next play. The next play I was looking at was this here. You can't really see it too well in the 15-minute, so you kind of have to go up a time frame again. So similar trade, right? This still stands. We are creating higher highs and higher lows. So our time frame alignment is still bullish, right? Guess what happens here? We come down, we start seeing sellers get exhausted around an area that was once resistance and now being turned into what? Support. What I like to call a pivot zone. So we come, and we already know that the 9 is measuring momentum. So we come down, tap the 9, tap VWAP, and then we start going the other way. So we have a really big red candle, followed by a smaller candle, followed by a really small red candle, followed by an engulfing candle. So now I'm thinking, okay, sellers have died off here. This is the perfect chance for buyers to kind of step in. If you go up a time frame, we get this hammer candle. If you know anything about candle anatomy, hammer candles are in indications towards a reversal of price. So if we're now creating bearish order flow and we get this hammer candle at support, so that's the other context there. We have a hammer candle at support. The likelihood of us going the other way has now increased significantly. Um, some people would be a little reluctant to take this trade here because we have a little bit of this top wick here. But if you're anything like me, you go down a few time frames and you notice that this was just us retesting this created support, right? Which meant that this candle, which is the candle that we kind of take our trade off of, doesn't really need to do a whole lot of retesting. A lot of what this candle was doing here was retesting, so you don't really need to do it on the candle that's kind of breaking out. So yeah, kind of just take this here. You can take it for your one-to-one if you want. This is the right stop loss placement here because we want to allow for another retest if one is going to happen. But once we kind of break out of this, you can start kind of trailing your stop. There's no reason for it to come back down here anymore after it did all of this. And yeah, like you can see, it's almost about to hit the CP. It's already hit the one-to-one by a mile, which is usually what I go for. But the higher target is this high here. If you look on ES, it kind of already took it. So you could have taken profits if you wanted to. The other part was that we're running into a time issue. What do I mean by time? Well, it's 12:30, which means that the likelihood of us having volume to help us deliver on this kind of price action is a little tough. So taking profits at maybe this resistance would have been smart, or maybe this high would have been smart. Or you could just take most of your contracts off here and leave a runner. But yeah, those are the two possible trades for today. This first one gets an A minus, and this second one almost gets the exact same grade. Same reason, if we would have taken out this candle low on the reversing candle on this actual hammer candle, would have increased the probability. And then the other part is just the way that it closed. But I just went down a few time frames to understand how the retest was happening. And then you would have been fine to take these two A minus trades here. Cool.